Hello, everybody. Okay. Sorry about being late, guys. I did not mean it. The evening kind of got away from me a little bit. Had to post a pumpkin. It is very wet, very muggy. All right. Here we go. Not muggy. It's dreary. It's dingy. Wife will be here very shortly to do comments. Patricia Sheffield, good evening. Hello. Big Dog Masks. Angie Rogers, you made it. This is your bear, Angie Rogers. Blackcraft 27, Big Dog Mask. Robert. Dandrea. Robert. Lanny Mask. John Lowell. Line Cook Thor, Jamie Paxton. Jeremiah Dempsey, Edson Juice, Scuba Steve, Rachel Powell, Nate Slankard, Enigma, Doc Wayne 72. Ooh, and I lost it. As soon as it goes up there, I'll lose it. Doc Wayne 72, Ken Zarish, Salty Scrunt. I'm not sure I should say that on YouTube. What does Salty Scrunt refer to? Just out of curiosity. How did you decide, like, yes, that is the username that I want? Warmonger, Kim, BDI Brad Kennedy, Michelle Schulte, Lindy Beto, Ashley NP, Stanley S, Fundian, Landmass, Big Dog Mask, Ron Sheps, Head Static, Tugwork Studio, I'm Knox on the Moon. Darren Reed, Jordan Butts, hello sir, good to see you. Nana Fran 62, Ellis Fire. It's been a while since I've seen you on a live, Ellis Fire. It's good to have you back. Now sometimes I don't get to see the name, so maybe you have been on and I just missed you, but it's good to see you back on a live. Hugo Cordier Lette, DM Cash, Boom Shakalaka. Indeed, Hugo, indeed. Casey Ann 100, Susie Gardner, Cassandra Nellander, Field Walker Math, hello from Scotland, Larry Hughes, and I think Mike Manning, and Ezekiel Bradshaw, Capejo, Scott Coiner in Alabama, Decompress Files. All right, that's it. It's not that the rest of you are not special, it's not that you're not important, it's just that I could go on all night doing that. Currently there are 76 of you, and how much I had to spend for that reminds me I should grab my glasses. Just put them on my head. I know I'm going to need them. But yes, wife is here. Say hi, wife.
Hi, wife.
And she's going to start reading comments here shortly. I am a little late to start. My apologies. But it is Bear 30. So let's do that. I think the last mask I made live for y'all was the Halloween Gravedigger. Very happy that with how that turned out. I think that was a good one. It is chilly here in Texas, but I love cable knit sweaters, so I wear them. I prefer them to hoodies. I'm one of those weirdos who prefers a good cable knit sweater to a hoodie.
I'm here, Celeste Kitty.
Okay. All right. But
Chad says you look rested and recharged. How was your day off of rest?
it was wonderful. I pretty much sat and chilled out almost all day. It was really nice. Okay. So look, we have a bear blanket.
I don't know if you watched the He-Man documentary on Netflix. Yes, this is wrong.
I've seen 2 different He-Man documentaries on Netflix.
Big Ink Media. It's cold as hell today in Massachusetts.
It's cold as heck today in Texas. We are very dreary and drizzly, and it is not good weather.
Salty Scrunt, a wolf-like creature in the new movie Lady in the Water. The Scrunt has fur that resembles grass, and so is able to appear as a mound in the grass. Scrunts also have glowing red eyes.
Very cool. Okay, see? That is way better than what I was picturing when you said your name was Salty Scrunt. So I'm glad that I had learned.
Vision Doll says a cable knit hoodie is the ultimate combo.
I've never seen a cable knit hoodie, but now you have me intrigued. And I must do some festive Googling.
John Lowell's dipping into the 20s this weekend in Pennsylvania.
Woo! The 20s.
Tutworks, snow here in Maine this week. Blackcraft 27, is this bear available on your website?
It is. It is. My webmaster and website person is on the ball, and they have the bear updated on the website, so you can buy a blank, or you can get a finished bear.
Actually, all you have on there is blank.
Actually, all we have is the blank. I was wrong.
But I can't.
If you want a finished bear, all you have to do is message us.
I can put the one. Actually, we'll have a different version. This is the second bear you've made. So
Is this the second or the third bear?
Second bear.
Oh, because one bear I made in the Cujo.
Correct.
That's right.
It was not a bear. So we'll do a page for the white bear, and this is going to be a brown bear.
This will be a brown bear.
And Blackcraft 27. I'll get that up there.
I was furiously Googling bear ears.
Richard March says hello. Be safe. Stay healthy.
Richard Marks?
Richard March.
Oh. Is that what it goes about to break into? Should have known better to let you get away. Is that right? That's Richard Marks? No?
Let him say.
Oh, okay. Well, I do what I can.
Same in Montana. All kinds of rain and cold. Hoping to get some water into the streams and I can go fish.
Yeah, go fish.
Oh, what kind of fish do they have?
What are you fishing for?
Greg Nation says it's mid-60s still in Washington State.
Wow.
Lisa says, Chris Lord, it's going to be a fun night. Is there going to be drool, blood, and flocking?
No blood on this one. There will be flocking. I'm hoping we get to that tonight.
Celeste Kitty says, it almost rained here in Florida. Instead, it just stayed hot and humid and miserable. That reminds me, I forgot to water my veggies.
Yeah.
Ellis Fire, ice storms here in Oklahoma. Our power was out for about 10 hours today. Big John says drink. Good saying.
Yeah.
Let's see. Ezekiel,
I'm
you know
a
your shirt is
bear.
on Inside Out.
Is it?
And that, yes, that was Richard Parks.
It is.
Drink yourself today.
I dressed myself today. I did.
Plastic Ninja, it's supposed to rain the next 2 days, but clear up for Halloween. Same here, Plastic Ninja. Angie Rogers, I think this is my mask.
It is.
Pejo says he's going to fish for trout or bass, depending on the area. I also make some custom lures if you want to try.
Well, that sounds awesome.
Missouri, my apologies. I said Montana, didn't I? Missouri. You let everybody know that you know your shirt is inside out, because you're getting lots of help.
I have now learned my shirt is inside out. I will eventually flip my shirt around.
Chad Smith, did you get to see your work on your Beastman at all this week?
Beastman might happen Thursday, Friday.
You're touring.
We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I have haunted house tours that I have to do on Thursday night and Friday night for dark hour. And right now, though, I need you guys to stare deep into the bear's eyes. Stare into the bear's eyes.
While you do, Hugo says, YouTube reported that my favorite channel reached 5 million views. Congratulations to you.
Wow, they reported to you that?
How did that
They
work?
didn't tell me. awesome. That's very
David
good.
says that bus looks a little like the Fenno set.
A bit, yes.
Blackcraft 27, what do you think about Cutting Edge Haunted House?
It is definitely a haunted house. I've been there a couple times. They try to accomplish different things than me. And, you know, so we don't necessarily have the same brand of storytelling. So, but, I mean, if you like haunted houses, it's going to be a good time.
Black Mama says hello.
Hello.
Ken Zarish says Fuzzy wasn't there.
Was he?
111 people are watching. We've been on 10 minutes.
Hello, 111 people.
We have crazy dogs.
We do. The dogs are nuts. That cranky sound you hear is me getting my airbrush hose out. Okay, everybody.
Black Ink Media Group. Watch this live on the big screen as the shot for the last tattoo client of the day.
Oh, hello. What are they getting? What are they getting tattooed? What am I bearing witness to here on the big screen?
Blackcraft 27. How much is entry at your haunted house? Why can't I need a date?
Sadly, the haunted house that I work at did not open this year because of COVID-19 issues. However, we are open for 3 nights, which is Thursday, Friday, and actually Saturday daytime. We have 2 tours for backstage tours. We're actually a pretty big production, so a backstage tour at dark hours is really worth it. So it's a good time. You should come and see our backstage tour.
Sleeping Lynx says hello. Happy Halloween.
Sleeping who?
Sleeping Lynx.
Hello. We should let Sleeping Lynx live.
Ken Reed, I can't wait to see how he turns out. I love bears. They're one of my favorite wild animals. Adolfo Orleans. Is that right? Hello, and how are you doing? And what are you working on?
I am working on a bear, believe it or not. As the bear turns, we're working on a bear. And there's so much hair is happening on this bear. I'm not going to do a black paint and then a dry brush. I'm actually just going to paint this guy with the brush, the base brown. And then I'll do some airbrush on top of that, and then it is hair city.
Oh, thank you, Ezekiel. He says it's worth doing the backstage tour at Dark Hour. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Celeste Kitty says, will Dark Hour do a Christmas thing if COVID permits?
COVID permits? Absolutely. Absolutely.
Big Ink Media Group, they are getting a Universal Frankenstein portrait tattoo.
Well, that's awesome. I love that. I love that.
Tutworks says, Shannon, thank you for the nice comment on the Halloween love painting. Tutworks did the skeleton painting I showed you.
A Knocks on the Moon! I did. I saw that. I commented too.
It was beautiful.
That is a beautiful painting. That is very well done. If we were the inspiration for that, then that is awesome.
Slipknot Live says, I've been having a hard time finding new Still B Studios videos. I don't get notified, and when I go to the channel, there's still no video. It's weird. It's weird.
That is odd. I mean, so the past 2 weeks, I've actually not done as good of a job during the week. I've had a lot of stuff come up. Now I'm hoping. Listen, on this week, Wednesday might be weird. I might not have a YouTube Wednesday like right on time like normal because my Wednesday video is in someone else's hands and they are posting it. So I have to work with them a little bit. Very complicated. I will sum up, but I can't tell you right now.
It'll make sense later.
It makes sense later, yes. But it's a very cool kind of big deal.
Martin Hidalgo, can someone recommend a video tutorial teaching how to make an armature to sculpt?
Yes, I actually have a how to make a Plaster FX bust. It is a Plaster FX bust video on my YouTube channel, so you should be able to find that right there. You're on my YouTube channel now. Shouldn't be hard for you to locate that video.
Love Critique. Hi, I enjoy all your lives and YouTube Wednesdays.
That is awesome. Thank you so much for taking the time to tell me.
Enigma. Alan, what can I use to attach a hanging eyeball to an eye socket so it hangs and moves around?
Well, I would use like an optic nerve. So your optic nerve could be latex dipped yarn. It could be a lot of things. Think in terms of the anatomy you've already got there and what would cause that to happen. So that tells me that you're looking at an optic nerve of some kind. So then you're going to do some Googling on optic nerves. So you would find something that would nicely represent that optic nerve and allow that to do your dangling.
Sleeping Lake says, Sleeping Lakes is my channel name. I do native flute music. Whoa,
That's so cool.
that is very cool.
I love
That
that.
is beautiful. I like that. That's always good. Always a good sound. John Lovell, have you ever heard of the Carpetbagger YouTube channel? Have. Has he ever been to your hunt?
I don't think he's been to Dark Hour. No, I've heard of Carpetbagger. I learned about him just recently. He did my friend Tristan's haunt. So, I mean, I've seen a couple of his videos. So there.
Celeste Kitty, I love flute music too. I'm gonna have to check that out because that's pretty sure that's gonna be awesome. Fred Shea, hello. Once again, I'm late to the party. Once again, I'm late to the party, Fred. I didn't even get a notification that you were doing a live chat, but I'm glad I'm here so I can get some great pictures.
Well, I told everybody I was going live at 7, and I lied to them. And I actually went live about 7:45. So I'm barely in frame. Is that what you're saying, wife?
Laura Franson says, do you remember the movie Prophecy? It's about a killer toxic bear.
Without doubt, every time I make a bear mask, that's the reason I sculpted this mask. But then I haven't had time to make the prophecy bear yet.
Enigma asks, is that a silk piece paint that's ready to be presented?
Yes, it is. And my labels all came in today. So I am steps closer to latex paint sales.
Are you working on that tonight? Tomorrow? Because we haven't figured that out. You have to work tomorrow.
No, not working on tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm at DH, remember?
Okay.
No one's here until 6 tomorrow. Stacy, are you on this evening?
I'm not seeing Stacy.
Oh, I bet she's working.
Tuesday night?
I don't know.
Brian Dower, I made another one. Evening. I hope you are both feeling good tonight.
Oh, I'm feeling great. This is coat number 1, and I'll do another coat of paint on this guy.
Oh, it's hot. Good evening, Alan and Mrs. Fox.
Why? Thank you.
The Holiday Guy says, hey man, I love your live. They are so much fun to watch.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Mr. Mitch, new subscriber, I'm thrilled to see you live.
Awesome. Thank you for coming and hanging out with us. So the YouTube Wednesday videos, I kind of make stuff that is a little more Halloween and home haunter friendly. But then what I do on lives a lot is I make things for my business, which is I make masks and costumes for haunted houses. So this is a bear that I'm working on that will be, it's going out to a client and she's on right now.
Hello, Realms says hi. I hate not being on here. I've been so busy at home.
Realms, I figured, and I hope that your haunt is going excellent.
Richard March says, I made a candy shoot slide, so the candies go right to their back.
Yeah.
That's cool. John Lowell says the Carpetbaggers channel is pretty good. He gets around and he goes to lots of haunts and old-timey roadside attractions.
Yeah, I kind of got the gist of that. I like what he's doing.
Blackcraft 27. What are you applying to the mask now?
I am applying latex mask paint. This is 1/3 casting latex, 1/3 latex house paint from Home Depot, 1/3 distilled water. And that is my mix. And it dries plenty flexible. And it's going to give me a nice base for this bear.
The bear mask reminds me of the Cujo mask.
Well, it's the same sculpture, yes.
It's true. James Turner, any opinions on what you use for thinking out your latex paint for airbrush use?
I thin it with distilled water. You use distilled water to thin it down, and then it'll airbrush fine. Although in the Pache H and in the Harbor Freight Quick Change, I don't thin it at all. I just run it right through.
Aaron M, adding the last layers on my Dunwich horror creature. Your work looks amazing as always.
Why, thank you.
Brian Dower, did you use a 3-piece plaster cast or a 2-piece?
This is a 2-piece mold. A lot of people think molds are harder than they are, you know. You don't have to worry about undercuts too much on latex masks because your latex is real flexible. So all of this is just one piece. My seam line for this guy is right about here. Everything, this is one piece, and then the back is one piece.
Hello from Louisville.
I'm doing one more layer of brown.
Les Kitty says, Carpetbagger is great. I haven't met him yet, but I met Adam the Woo. Cobwebs and Candlesticks is Hayden Carpetbagger.
Hey, Cobwebs.
John C. says, Carpetbagger filmed stilt walkers walking by his video of Transworld. You didn't show your room.
Okay.
Hello, Jean. Jean says, wow, beautiful.
Thank you. That's very kind.
Realm says, it's been raining, so it hasn't opened, but tonight we got some photographs of it by some professional photographers, and then tomorrow night, some people signed up, so we get to schedule tomorrow night. Good luck, Realms, that's awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah, man. Good luck, buddy.
Super proud of you. C. Dempsey 47. Did the Gravedigger get his new home? If not, I'll take him off your hands.
Yes, the Gravedigger actually, that was a very fast turnaround. I finished him that night and I gave him away the next morning.
He's in Minnesota.
So yeah, he's already in Minnesota with Scott Colhart, who is often on and often a moderator.
He might be resting. Right.
Yeah.
Fred Shea says, I hope this one turns out as cool as the Crypt Keeper that you did. Hopefully you can find the backlight when you do the wife of the Crypt Keeper.
Oh, the backlight, the black light. If possible.
What size needles do you use in your airbrush?
I normally keep my Pache on a 3. I find that I don't need to get much finer than that, and if I need to go wider than that, I have the Harbor Freight Quick Change, and that goes plenty wide.
Big Ink Media Group says, planning on hitting up the new Spooky World this week. Just a bummer not working like this year.
Yeah, I hear you. I've been there.
Brian Downer says, I see the scene.
Yeah, yep. Once I dry brush it, it shows up a little bit.
Steve Garrison, my daughter and I were inspired by you to turn our garage into a workshop so we can make stuff.
That is awesome. You should have a place to make stuff. You just should.
Brian says, once it's decorated, it nice.
Can you repeat that for me?
Just talking about the scene. Once it's decorated, he said, once it's decorated, it will hide.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And I didn't even file it down as much as I normally do because it's all covered by hair.
Herman Munster, 65. Hello. PM Cash. Hi. Says, I'm a big fan. Never miss a video of Cobwebs and Candlesticks. He's got a good channel. Having a lot of fun seeing his work.
Yep, he does good stuff.
He does. The Slipknot Life. Have you ever made a mask for a movie?
No, I don't do movie stuff. I do haunted house stuff. So I made a lot of masks for haunted houses because that's the field that I'm in. I'm not doing haunted houses because I'm a failed movie guy. I love haunted houses. That's what I want to do with my life. So that's what I'm doing. So, yeah, I mean, that's the easiest way to explain it. I mean, that's like, you know, sometimes I feel like when I say, yeah, I'm a haunted house special effects guy, or I make costumes and stuff for haunted houses. Imagine if I was a plumber and I said, yeah, I'm a residential plumber. And they said, man, you ever done plumbing for a mall? Because, man, that's cool. You're good enough. You could do plumbing for a mall. But I'm happy doing plumbing for houses. You know, I'm doing what I want to be doing. So that's a thing.
Less fitting. Did Jaguar or Lord Jaguar or whatever you named it get painted? I think I missed that.
It was painted. It was painted a very beautiful jade look. I did not finish his whole headdress and stuff like I wanted to, but one day.
KBFX Special Effects. Hello. I appeared as a special guest for a podcast and had to mention your tutorials and how much they've helped me along with Ed Edmonds. And I pretty much let down. I was pretty let down about that. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's all good. I just saw that Stacy popped on. Hello, Stacy. I would love for you to be here tomorrow to read comments if you have time.
So was the owner of the Gravedigger was Scott from Monster Camp? It's good for the face behind him.
Yes. Scott from Monster Camp is the owner of the Gravedigger.
Beauty says hello.
Hello, Horror Beauty. Hope things are going good for you.
KBFX. It was my first appearance, so I was a touch nervous even, though I was good friends with podcasting. But I'm doing more in the future. I'm most definitely doing it.
You know what? I'm not here for credit. Don't even sweat it.
Kenzarish, I wanted to ask how much is the heat gun?
$10. Harbor Freight. $10 heat gun. Go get you one. It's my favorite.
Lisa asks, what about your awesome werewolf? I would love to catch that one.
Well, I have a werewolf I'm making. Oh yeah, I did make one that someone was going to make a movie with. But I made him a really sweet haunted house werewolf. He just happens to be making a movie with it.
Hey, Stacy. What's the best, cheapest way to do a head form of someone's head?
Okay, so you asked me questions that contradict each other. The best way and the cheapest way are not the same thing. You can say, what's the best way? And I would say, take a silicone cast and make a plaster or banded shell around it. Then you say, what's the cheapest way? I actually won't tell you the cheapest way, but probably alginate. Because there's reasons why it's cheap. If you're going to do a head cast, do it right. If you just want a bust to sculpt on, then look at my Plaster Effects bust video, which shows you how to make a nice generic bust that you can even measure and make it to your basic head measurements. But there's some things you don't cheap out on. You know, don't buy cheap stilts. You got to stand on those, and you know you want them to let you live. Don't buy cheap stilts. Don't go cheap on your head cast, and don't buy cheap toilet paper or cheap ketchup. Buy the good stuff. You're worth it.
Are you going all out on the mask or just using the bare necessities? Oh, that's
Well, often I don't get to make those decisions. Ursa up to the person who ordered the mask.
great that you found something you're passionate and you can make a living doing it. Says John Roll.
That's the kicker. You just keep going.
Sean Davis, have you watched the documentary The American Scream? It focuses on a couple of families of Pope farmers.
I have, yes.
Well, Tyler, new shirt idea. I love what you make and make what you love.
Yep.
She'll be here Wednesday.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay, you can hear me, so do I need to move this table closer to you? Is this
Yeah, you're pretty far. So we've added this fan right over their heads. So good for painting, bad for audio.
Okay, quick thoughts. I posted some pictures on the Facebook Reaper page of my Loctite foam masks. My name there is Cliff Hoyt Jr.
Awesome.
Big Ink Media, that city font paint with the King Kong video is awesome.
Oh, I think you mean the walkthrough and the shadow effect I did of King Kong a while back. Thank you.
Shade Killer Studios. Hey Alan and crew, I have the quick change and Pache airbrushes, but they don't fit my smaller air compressor. I need to upgrade to a 3 to 5 gallon size. I wanted to ask if you had a recommendation.
I really like the Fortress airbrush from air compressor from Harbor Freight. It's one of the silent running ones. It's running right now in the other room and you can't even tell.
Lockney 4409 says it's a good way to spend a Tuesday night. I'm watching a man build a mask while I write music.
Hooray, I love that.
Rita Richardson would like to know, what are you drinking?
I drink Coke Zero most of the time. I'm a simple man when it comes to beverages. I know that none of that is going to show up, but let's do it anyway. It's good practice.
KBFX Special Effects says, just made a video on axe painting to make another video on rubber cement paint, even though I'm not a big fan of it, for those who want to learn.
Cool.
Blackcraft 27, what's the first mask you ever made?
I made a Bigfoot mask. The very first one I made was a Bigfoot. Sorry guys, I'm grabbing some paint. That's why I was off camera.
Is it Jack Daniels and Coca-Cola?
Nope, it is just Coke Zero. I'm a simple man, I'm also a boring man.
Celeste Kitty says, I saw some weird compressed paint thingy at Home Depot and I was going to ask you guys about it, but I forgot to take the picture. I will post about it in the Facebook group when I am out of jail.
Okay,
She's in
Great.
Facebook jail.
so many people in Facebook jail.
Urban Mulder says, I always said that I never ever buy cheap ketchup or toilet paper. That's fun.
That's right, you shouldn't. You're worth it, you're worth more than that.
Blackcraft 27 says, I'm drinking some whiskey tonight while I'm enjoying the show.
Hooray!
Slipknot Life. Do you dabble in face paint and special effects makeup?
I do a lot of airbrush makeup for haunted houses, so yes, I guess I do.
Rob O'Brien. Alan, did you ever find your black light? Asks Warmon.
I stopped. I haven't looked for it yet. I'm sure I can. I'm sure I will, but I haven't even looked for it.
Asylum 431. I would love to be making music as well as watching a genius, but I'm watching while I'm at work.
Yeah. Okay, you're getting paid to watch fun YouTube videos.
Space Coast Life says I'm going to build an Invisible Man costume next year.
Sweet.
Aaron M. Allen, for my cultist robes for my Lovecraft creature, I added octopus patterns to them.
That sounds cool.
Angie Rogers says it's looking wonderful. This belongs to Angie, so give it a
Yeah.
chance. Cobweb says I've been using my Badger single action airbrush and it's done pretty good.
Yeah, I'm using a Pache H single action airbrush, and I'm happy with it.
Lucky 2001 says your air compressor is running. You're going to use it.
It's on. I mean, my air compressor is on, but it's in the other room. What you're probably hearing is this, and this is new. This is another air scrubber that I have installed here in the shop, right over where I paint. So you do hear a fan noise, and I'm sorry about that. But c'est la vie, such is life on the ocean floor.
Sorry, I love the old fridge crates.
The old what?
Fridge is a fridge running.
Oh.
Urban Mueller says shops are finally open in Melbourne, so my wife and I went to Halloween store and scored a few items for our yard.
Awesome. Another Aussie watcher. That's great.
VFX. Is there a live video of you making a Bigfoot costume? We'd love to learn more about sewing costumes.
No, there isn't. There's a lot of videos of me making werewolf costumes, which are similar.
Ezekiel says, I've never been in Facebook jail.
No, I've never been in Facebook jail either. I guess I'm not edgy enough for Facebook jail.
Gene Drake, I very much like the channel content, but do you continue after Halloween? I hope so. This is far better than TV.
This is my life. So yeah. Like this is what I do all year. So yes, I will continue after Halloween. Rest assured, I'll be here.
John Lowell, when you make your paint mix in the condiment bottles, how long will it stay usable?
Oh, 3-4 years.
Big Monkey Fez, Alan, I appreciate your kind feedback on my prototype weirdo, Ed Roth Loctite mask.
Yeah, that was fun.
The Crazy House says, I'm late to the stream, but that is a beautiful sculpt.
Hey, thanks. It's a bear.
Hello, Okie Dale. Okie Dale would like to know how it's going.
Okie Dale, things are going great.
Les Kitty, what's the best paint to airbrush on a body?
Okay, so like, I need to know, is it a prop body or a regular person's body? Because if you say the word paint, I assume you mean a prop. If you don't mean a prop and you mean an actual person, then you should use the word makeup. And if you mean the word makeup, then I would suggest European Body Art and Dura.
Blockade 4409 says, in my opinion, the fan noise in the background is oddly relaxing. I dig it, personally. I think what they're hearing is your new air purifier.
They are, yeah, that's what it is.
And Ken Polsky says, Kahosky. Sorry, Ken. Alan, can we get a few more details about that scrubber? I'm looking for something for the garage shop.
This is a Woodstock Shop Fox International. This is from Grizzly. If you put in Grizzly Air Scrubber, this is the one that is about $400. And then I have two others which are a little over $300 each, and they're all in this one shop. So this is right over where I'm painting, and you can see that filter is already pretty gray. It does a good job. And I used to use 5-micron filters in it, but since COVID, I switched to a 3-micron filter. I'm going to be honest with you, I'm probably going to switch back to 5-micron filters until I have more guests in the shop. If it's just me and the normal crew, I'll stick with the 5-micron filter because they just do a better job of filtering because more air moves through them. They stop the air a little too well, I think.
on with the 3-micron filters in.
Rodolfo would like to know, do you do full body costumes?
We do. I make a lot of full body costumes. That's like normally that's what I do a lot of. Like I'm doing a lot of that this time of year. But with COVID, I'm selling more masks than I am full costumes. So just a thing.
Hi to Weird Kid.
Hey, Weird Kid. Weird Kid is starting his mask sculpting and making adventure. I'm very excited and proud for Weird Kid, who I can't wait to see what he produces.
Boyd Swant says, hooray, I look forward to more videos and lives after Halloween.
They're coming.
Paul Bennett, hello. Says, just ordered a mask from somewhere. I plan to order one from Allen soon.
Hooray.
Says, I mean, 3 masks. Let's see. Weird Kid says, I started my very first mask today. Alan was super kind enough to offer some input. Thank you for that, Alan.
Remember, if you start making a clown, I'm going to show up out of nowhere and slap those tools out of your hand.
So Jeremiah Dempsey and I just moved out of Texas. We moved and we loved Black's briskets, but got burnt out on it. What is your favorite barbecue?
My favorite barbecue? My wife. My wife, she makes a really delicious pork shoulder. And I mean, she does it all well. She does good brisket. She does good pork shoulder.
My brisket needs work.
You know what? Your stove brisket is actually
I
delicious.
have not gotten my brisket to a.
Her smoker brisket isn't amazing. However,
It's going to be.
her oven brisket is delicious.
Still learning.
Yes. And she does ribs in a crock pot, which is freaking amazing too. So my wife's
Very sweet.
my wife's is the best. Like that's what I would rather have. But if I have to go to a place, I'm very simple. We have a baker's rib near us. That's good.
Yeah.
But I'm not a hard person to please brisket wise. Like I don't want it dry. Other than that, brisket it up.
Celeste Kitty says a strip club in Tampa had a body painter and he sprayed with some paint mix, not makeup. It stayed on two for days until I scrubbed with alcohol. I forget what the mix was. That was years ago.
Well, alcohol-based makeup will stay on unless you use alcohol to remove it. So that it's supposed to. So, but a good makeup artist should have stuck around to remove the makeup.
JLR 538LM says hello.
Hello.
Paul Bennett says tomorrow I got to make a trophy for my actors for their great acting role in the part.
That is awesome.
That is awesome. Big Ink says, are you not a clown fan?
It's not that I'm not yes, I'm not a clown fan, but the reason I'm not a clown fan is because of the oversaturation of clowns in haunted attractions. I think that it is, you might be a mint fan in your garden, but if you just plant mint along with the other plants, it's going to reproduce and go wild, and then you'll have mint in places you were supposed to have squash. So you kind of have to. Clowns do that same thing. Everybody wants to be a clown, and there's just too many clowns in haunting right now, I think. And there's too many for clowns even to be as effective as they should be. So clowns would be better if there were less of them. There's just too many. And that means there's not enough variety. I mean, that leads to all kinds of problems. This is coat number 1 on the teeth.
Space Coast Life. Are you normally listening to music while you work when you are not live? And if so, what bands?
I would normally listen to audiobooks. I'm an audiobook guy. I'm not a music person in the same way that a lot of other people are music people. I kind of this is going to sound really weird. Like I want to live musically, you know. I sing a lot, but I won't sit and listen to music. I would rather be learning something, and if I'm listening to a song I've heard before, I'm not learning anything. That sounds ridiculous and like I'm a hipster music person, but I'm not.
You have one theme song you start each day with.
Yes, but every day when I come in the shop, I do play "Human" by Rag and Bone Man, and that kind of sets my tone for the day. And there's a personal message in there for me that I enjoy from that song.
Chad Smith, I think next week I'm going to start trying to produce some Christmas themed masks. I'm going to have to do some research to see what I can do that isn't already out there.
Cool. I do a lot of them, so feel free to shoot me a message and we can talk some Christmas shop.
Aaron M., I would say, kid, make whatever you think would be a cool mask. That's what matters. Slipknot Life. Spooky season is ending soon, but it's spooky season all year for me, and I like watching horror all the time. I like making spooky art all the time.
Do it. Make the art. Pulls us thing. I'm going to go put a little magenta in the airbrush here and hit these gums again. And then I'm going to call that part of this done-ish.
Warmonger says it's Texas. Everyone does barbecue.
Yeah.
The Weird Kid. Teeth are hard, Alan. I sculpted them, but they need a ton of work.
Teeth are hard. You're correct. Teeth are also kind of the soul of a monster. If you think about dogs and how much they put things in their mouth because they don't have thumbs. That's how they experience the world. So a monster is the same way. A monster's status is sort of in... his status is inferred through his teeth and his mouth. His level of danger is inferred through his teeth and his mouth. So teeth are a big deal for monster masks. Absolutely.
Robert says clowns are like pennies. Nobody really wants them except cheapskates. Have you ever done a predator mask? My son has been wanting one for such a long time.
I do predator masks every now and then, but normally I do them at a build-up, and mine are not like screen-accurate predator masks. Mine are fun haunted house predator masks.
Hey, Ken Smallwood, Monster Camp 7.
What's up, buddy?
Glad you made it home safe. Bearded Raptor, after 3 weeks of binge watching your videos, I just made my first mask. I'm about to put into plaster tonight, and I can't wait to get the FX tools I ordered today. Thanks for the encouragement. Bearded Raptor, did you also order a blank? Did we get an order in for the tools?
Yeah, we got an order for tools and a blank.
And a blank. So if that's you, then yeah, you got to pour up your blank, but then you should be on your way soon.
Okay, so that's a good start.
Fred Shea says, would you consider a Jack-in-the-Box a clown? Or are they their own character? And I know that everybody keeps talking about clowns to you. I'm sorry. Is a Jack-in-the-Box a clown?
Most often a Jack-in-the-Box is a clown, but a Jack-in-the-Box could also be a jester. A lot of them have a very much a Punch from Punch and Judy look. So, I mean, that's a little different. It's in the realm of clown, but I wouldn't hold things against it.
C. Dempsey 47 and Jeremiah Dempsey both responded at the same time. Sounds like my wife and I are going to have to come to Monster Camp to try the pork shoulder.
Heck yeah.
Come to Monster Camp to learn. You'll get fed. John C. If I send a box completely filled with a hunk of cash, do I get a brisket? Daniel Martin, hello. So I got my coordinator mask today. Thank you. The extras were cool. My son thought it was Christmas in October.
Hooray! That's awesome. We love hearing that. Wife, I can hear you just fine.
Okay. Will you put saliva on the bear's mouth?
Is that the person who ordered the bear?
No.
Then no. When a mask is ordered, you see, I have to do what the owner of the mask says.
Otherwise, you get $5 for a $300 pick with tax like chili truffle.
What's that now? Yeah, there's a lot of clown stuff happening this
Hey,
evening.
big dog, doing good. Doing good. Saving your phantom wine for Halloween night.
Hooray!
Delvo says he's been wanting one just like the movie The Predator mask, with the bear strands that the bear strands did.
That is not mine. Mine are simple creatures, but there are lots of good Predator mask makers out there. But Predator is a complicated mask, so it's going to be prepared for it to be pricey.
Abram Acosta says hello.
Hey, Abraham. Good to see you, buddy.
I believe it's Abram. His eyes have a sweat.
Well, he works at Dark Hour. That's King Gingy. He is my pro actor who plays the gingerbread man.
King Gingy.
That's King Gingy, man. King Gingy.
Your notifications are on.
Oh, dang it.
Zach Spinizotto, hey Alan, would you be able to make a video or give me an idea on the best way to light carvable pumpkins with one cord?
One cord, yes. Look into the system that Malibu Lights uses. Malibu Lighting, Malibu Landscape Lights. Because the way that Malibu works is that you run one cord out, and it's a 12-volt system. It comes with a little transformer. You run one cord out, and then there's little vampire clamps that attach lights on to that cord. So it vampire clips in, and then you can put a light anywhere in that cord you want. Malibu Landscape Lights. It's also not that expensive, but it also knocks it down to 12 volt, which is really nice.
How does one attend your monster camp? I'm in Arkansas, not that far away.
We will announce the next monster camp here in a little while. Currently, the only monster camp we have is January. It is sold out. We are trying to squeeze one in later in the year, but I have to find out what's going on with my haunted house and with a couple other factors to make sure I can schedule it at a time when I'm able to do it.
Alan, have you ever made and sold a set of your color mixtures? Paint is the one thing I don't do yet. That's a weird kid.
Paint is going to be added. Latex mask paint will be added to my website within the next 2 weeks. So I think I have time to get it up before you're going to need it.
Is that Sasquatch fur?
That is going to be bear fur right now.
Is that the Michael Myers mask you made a couple of videos ago? I love that, did you?
Yes, it was. And that's about to get boxed up and sent back to DJ Styles.
Have you ever made the Jeepers Creepers mask?
No, I don't do a ton of stuff from movies. Every now and then I do something, but there are so many other talented people who do excellent. They do excellent Jeepers Creepers masks. I don't feel the need to add another Jeepers Creepers mask into the mix.
Head static. I have an idea for a mask, but I'm not talented enough to do it. A tortured demon jester, but instead of the jester hat, it's horns, and instead of the bells, it's skulls, etc.
Yes. Practice, and then you'll be talented enough to do it. I have no doubt. I have faith in you. You should have faith in you too.
You have a video addressing paints for latex. I have a ton of Createx paints for lures and a flexible clear coat. It seems like the internet doesn't like them due to cracking.
Createx is okay. It's not the best. It'll crack some, but you have to watch out for any straight acrylics, and you have to watch out for, Createx is probably okay.
Slipknot Life. Have you ever gotten an idea from a very low budget movie and incorporate that idea from the movie into a mask?
No, I haven't. And I watch a lot of low-budget horror movies, like a lot. And I'm actually slowing down on how many I watch because I don't get any value from them. I'm not really entertained. They're not. I thought at one point in time it was my job to watch every monster movie that came out, because as long as someone keeps watching them, they'll keep making them. No, my time is worth more than that. My energy is worth more than that. My brain is worth more than that. I'm not going to put my brain on that when I'm not getting any feedback from it. Occasionally, there's some diamonds in the rough, but I mean, I would watch really bad movies.
Cobwebs. Man, we're gonna have to start a Jeepers Creepers tax.
We do get a lot of Jeepers Creepers comments.
Mike Lewisell said, "Hey Alan, it's in-house FX man. I just ordered the blank and tools."
Cool.
Mike, we shipped you out yesterday. You ordered the Goblin half mask and you ordered the tools, and they shipped yesterday. Whatever email is attached to your PayPal account, I sent an email with a tracking number for you, so you are already on your way. Let's see. Mr. Mitch says, "I'm sorry, but I missed the type of airbrush you were using."
Pache H is what I'm using.
Hoyt's Haunt. I want to start and try to make some latex masks, but I have no idea where to get plaster and of what kind. Same for latex. I found clay nearby. I also need sculpting tools and a bust.
I don't know who it is who you're getting your clay from, but check, they might have plaster. Either Ultra Cal 30 or US #1 pottery plaster or whatever. But they're going to have something, so I would try that.
Good night, weird kid.
Good night, weird kid. No one knows what it's like to be the weird kid.
I love the bear mask. Is it for a customer?
It is for a customer. Most of the time, if I'm making something, it's for a customer.
How can you tell the difference between a latex mask and a vinyl mask?
I can tell it by smell pretty easy. The vinyl masks have a very distinct smell.
Are you going to be doing anything for the ears for the bear?
Yes. Yes, this bear will have ears. And they will be made of EVA foam.
I'm looking forward to getting your paints, says Michael Littlesell.
Cool. I too am looking forward to you getting my things.
Joe Boss says he's scared of the great big mean bear.
You should be.
Rachel Powell, I bought my EVA foam today to make my Maleficent horns and my son's Plague Doctor mask.
Awesome.
Cobweb says the same guy who doesn't want to waste brain power on crappy monster movies wants to punch rhinos and bears in the face.
Yes, I want to punch him. Yes. Then let's be honest though, a rhino and a bear, they're not even going to notice me punching them. Alexa, what's half of 25?
Half of 25 is 12.5.
Yeah.
Did that answer your question?
Yeah.
Do your dogs freak out when you wear a scary mask?
No. Alexa, stop. No, they do not. They get a mild concern. They're like, "Dad, you are doing me a concern," but they do not freak out per se.
Cobwebs would like to know when are you jumping on your Beastman? And you
Man.
should show them what came in the mail today.
I don't know. I don't know when I'm going to get to do my beats today. 7.5, 15. This is the unsexy math part of making masks.
Jennifer Pugh says good night. Can't wait for YouTube Wednesday.
Good night.
Ryan
Me either.
Thor says drink.
It'll be a surprise for all of us.
DM Cash says my favorite talks are when you refer to monsters from mythology that have never heard of them. Then I Google them.
Google the snot out of it.
Horror Beauty says, oh, by the way, Alan, I've been wearing my witch mask at the haunt. Everyone loves it. Looking at the Christmas masks for this season. Thank you for your work.
Oh, very cool.
In Smallwood, where you get your fur.
Monterey Mills is where I get my fur. Monterey Mills.
Sleeping Links, if we get the haunt set up for our historical park next year, I want to find a young girl to be dressed like a Disney princess type outfit. That'd be creepy. Face
Okay.
to effects, I just want to let you know, I sell liquid latex in bulk as well as other supplies.
There you go. That's another supplier right there.
Scott Creighton says hello. Big Ink Media says that's a big sheet of fur.
Yeah, it is. It comes in a roll. It's a 23-yard roll.
Hoyt's Haunt says, thanks Alan, I will check Hobby Lobby. It is the name of the store here in my upstate New York where I found clay.
No,
You should
no,
ask about the plaster there too.
no. Don't check Hobby Lobby, and don't buy your clay from Hobby Lobby if you can help it. He's in upstate New York.
Upstate New York.
Look for a ceramic supply store. Look for a ceramic supply store. Get on the Google. Get on the old-fashioned phone book, because a lot of these industrial companies, and yes, that's an industrial company, don't have great websites and they're not really up to date with the times. So find a phone book and find a ceramic supply company. They're going to have your clay, they're going to have your plaster, and then you'll have to order your latex online.
Okay, back to Sleeping Links. Several posts that are linked together. If we can get the haunt set up for our historical park next year, I want to find a young girl to be dressed like a Disney princess type outfit with a large trick-or-treat bag and have her come walk up to groups crying, and if people try to see what's wrong, have her say that she can't find her mom. And when they try to help her, have her reach in the bag and pull out a severed head and say, all I can find is her head, and giggle and run off into the darkness.
That's funny. You're my kind of people.
Six String Gunslayer says, hey Alan, a two-part question. I'm going to get some flex foam to backfill a mask for a prop. What pound is best, a 5 or 10 pound, etc., and what would be the best for a master casting that will be molded?
5-pound foam for props and 3-pound foam for molding master casting.
I've been wanting to make this is Aaron M. I've been wanting to make my version of a spring heel jack. Maybe after I finish the current project.
I love Spring Heel Jack. Okay. I have committed a classic blunder. I did not bet with the Sicilian when life was on the line. Instead, I cut my bear fur pattern out going the wrong direction. See how all this bear fur just kind of naturally goes up and it doesn't naturally go down? So I'm using this pattern piece, check and see if it works, and then I will flip it. Yeah, this did very well, actually.
Millie's Artistic Creations says hello. Celeste Kitty says, question for everyone, do you ever order from taxidermy places for forms and molds? I know I kind of want to make some good stuff like soft mounts. Would be great for removable jaw mats.
She said soft mounts.
Fursuiters order teeth molds from them a lot.
Yeah, a lot of people order teeth jaw sets. I order eyes from them. For a couple projects, I have used taxidermy forms. So yeah, I mean it's a common thing. It's possible.
Abdul Von Grace says hello, learning a lot.
Hey, awesome! Good to see you on. Ears. And I did a lot of size checking, basically. How big are the ears? Where are the ears? While I was waiting to go live. So I'm very happy with where I landed. ear-wise. Now that I have my practice piece of fur cut out, I can cut out my real piece of fur. Well, you mark your fur direction, kids.
Big Week says, every time you set timers with ALEXA, my Vice does it also. And the reason my shopping list is so big, she hears everything.
Yes, she does. She doesn't always understand everything, but she hears everything.
DM Cash, today I furred my goat, used tin foil and tape to make a pattern. 3D, 2D, 3B, worked great.
Awesome.
Our
I'm
web
glad to hear
says
it.
to never start a land war in Asia.
That's right. Well, it's a classic blunder. Yes.
Flatcraft 27. I normally do wood carving projects and I carve little characters. I typically paint them with craft paint from Walmart with a brush. Do you think airbrushing is a better alternative to woodcraft?
You're not going to get brush marks the same way. So in some ways it's better. You know, I mean, everything, there's payoffs. In some ways it's better. In some ways you're going to say, boy, I really should have kept brushing, because you're going to have a machine in between you and your art. And that's a little frustrating sometimes.
Chad said bear mullet. Cobweb said bear skull.
When in doubt, bear sculling.
I know you're a wet clay guy, but do you know any tips to get monster clay out of an ultra foul mold? It says 6-string pencil.
Yes, use wet. You know what? That is one of the reasons I'm a wet clay guy is how hard it is to get the clay out. It's a pain. It's tough. I'm gonna try and find my Roberts cutter. You know what?
Where's it going?
My Roberts cutter is in the van, because that's the razor knife you put in with the box. So I have to get it. You gotta tell a story real quick.
What would you like a story about?
Well, you're going to tell a story. Tell them about the Great Pumpkin Project and why we were late.
Woo! Great Pumpkin Project. Okay. So if you are on the Facebook Creepers page, then you know that every night carve a pumpkin. It's 31 pumpkins. Actually, it's 32 pumpkins. 31 pumpkins for 31 nights. 32 because we have one that we have at the house. But we carve a pumpkin every night, and we go somewhere spooky, and we find a place to leave the pumpkin with an LED light in it, and so it'll surprise somebody, or just kind of cool to go by an old graveyard or an abandoned building or something, and you see a lit jack-o'-lantern, and it's kind of creepy and kind of cool and romantic and all the good stuff. So we do this every night in October. Honestly, I don't know how long we'll be able to keep this up, because it's a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun. And tonight we found a place that required a little bit of hiking. Hiking is a good word. And we were determined. So we got back here late. We were wet. Our shoes and our socks were wet, and it is a raw, terrible cold. It's cold and wet and gross tonight. And to get to this spot, we really had to track a bit. So a little bit of adventure. We got the shot. It's gonna be awesome, but it also makes it hard. So we have 4 pumpkins left. Today's Tuesday, so Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Oh, 4 pumpkins, yeah. And then that's it. And we've done one every night since the 1st of October. Anyway, it's called the Great Pumpkin Project, and you can hashtag the Great Pumpkin Project or Great Pumpkin Project on Instagram or on Facebook if you do either one of those forums, and you can see people all over the country have started doing it. It's literally, it's harmless, old school, romantic little thing that we do, and it's kind of pretty cool. We're really careful. We don't trespass. We don't go in anybody's yard or on private property. We don't go anywhere that is no sacred places. I might be on the outside of the cemetery and get a shot on the outside of the fence. I'm not gonna put it at churches or schools or someplace. Just not private property and places that are just be respectful of that. That's right. Are you gonna show what happened with the fur?
Yes.
Okay.
Every time I use fur in the shop.
It's so soft. It's so soft and fluffy.
Every time I use fur in the shop, it gets a napper on it.
It's so soft and fluffy.
Boris,
What?
what you doing?
Well, I'm taking a nap. Thanks for putting this fur down for me.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Spook Shack says, I gave the pledge a try on my last mold. It worked well. Thanks for the tip. Big Dog is off to bed. Hello, Graphic UK. Are there any tips on designing patterns for masks and costumes?
Yes. Think about their durability. Make sure that if they're for like haunted house costumes, they have to fit multiple sizes. I'm currently wrestling a dog for this fur. Have to fit multiple sizes. So keep that in mind. And make sure that it's going to be durable and make sure it's going to be comfortable. But also, I do my costumes in layers. So have a outer layer that is, washable, and then maybe something like Under Armour right up close to them. That's very washable. But then that middle layer is washable, and then maybe there's something on the outside that you just sanitize, like a texture layer.
Can you explain what happened with the fur and why you're cutting another one?
Yes, I'm having to cut a second one because a bear's fur has a natural direction to it. This is the top of the head, and this hair should naturally lay down. So it's not smoothing out. That's because this fur has a grain. This is the bottom, and look at how smooth that is. That is the natural grain of this fabric. So it would look really weird.
Saying hello from Germany. They're upset that you didn't do your Godzilla one.
Oh, I didn't, because my wife was talking.
They're really upset you didn't do the Godzilla one. Celeste Kitty says, you know what a great YouTube show plot would be if there's a person assigned to listen to the ALEXAs and Google devices on every... No! What are you doing? No! It's too dark. Oh, God.
Sorry, had to.
Are you happy?
Okay.
Great. I don't even know where I was.
More importantly, Cheney is happy.
Felipe
Google and Alexa, they meet up for lunch. Mara Biza. Thanks, guys. Thanks for the awesome content. I work with children in Australia, and I got super inspired by some of your videos. The children are all hyped up about the Halloween stuff that you've been making. That's awesome. I love that.
Carby says, I just placed Jack-o'-lantern tonight. I could not do 31 this year, but I have been doing one every weekend. That's awesome.
31 is no joke.
Hey, Puppet Master.
You know who does that? Insane people.
Since you've done the Great Pumpkin Project for a few years now, but I never asked, do you buy all 32 pumpkins at once or just a few every time you go to the store? Puppet Master. I get them in batches. I do not buy them all at once. I just get them in batches because I'm going to make a grocery store run about once a week, and that's when I'm picking them. Michelle's like, sorry, but that horn is epic. Yes, I know. Everybody loves that horn. Oh, that horn. Jones is here. Hey, Jones, he's right behind you.
Jones.
Ezekiel says, damn, 32 pumpkins. I need to take a loan to buy 32 pumpkins in Australia. Hi, Jones.
I don't think pumpkins don't grow great in Texas either. I think they prefer a little bit cooler weather.
Why use wet clay instead of oil-based clay?
Wet clay is soft. Wet clay is soft. Wet clay is easy, faster to sculpt with. It's very pliable, and I like having a clay that is I can work as fast as I can think. So if I can do it as fast as I can think, then I'm not. My sculpts don't suffer.
But here's Jones. Here's Jones.
He needed attention, so he was going to yell about it. Let's yell about it. Whatever it is, let's yell about it.
Okay. As for molding a bust with clay, have you ever tried using shrink wrap over the bust and sculpting on top of that? The plastic is more forgiving in recessed areas than you may think. Try it.
I've done it. I don't normally use it because I just don't need it. But yes, it does.
Celeste Kitty says, only putting out a few pumpkins, but they are going out tomorrow. Migraine for 2 days, so blah. If you think pumpkins will get expensive, grab some seeds. Plant 4 months before October, pumpkin patch. Celeste Kitty, the only problem with that is 4 months from October is July here, and it's 120 degrees. So the plant will not set fruit. And when the plant won't set fruit, you won't get a pumpkin. So you can grow them here, but it's a little tricky. So yeah, but they're not that expensive. That's why I buy them in batches. They're only about $3 or $4 a piece, so it's not bad.
You are Mama's kitty. Why are you on me right now?
You're the man. Blackcraft, never thought of carving a pumpkin every night for a month. That sounds like a really good family bonding project. We'll be doing that next year here in Mineral Wells, Texas. Hey! I know where you are.
Good thing, kitty.
Yeah, I'm working.
Okay, now my fur direction goes this way.
Oh my goodness.
This fur direction
Whoa.
goes that way. Cat, you are needy. Why are you so needy, kitty?
World. Blackcraft 27. I'm about to post a link to more information about how the Great Pumpkin project works. What in the world?
I'm trying to get work done.
KBFX. When doing the Wolfman's makeup, Jack Pierce would singe the hairs with a curling iron. Have you tried this technique with a Wolfman mask to see how it works?
I wouldn't singe it. You just curl the hair a little bit, and it gives a more natural growth. The synthetic hair, the yak hair, is actually really straight. So there's a little bit of a curl. Look. Listen. Listen, buddy.
Hello, Buddy Geeks.
Buddy, I have a bear to make. I have a bear to make. Don't bite my nose. I have a bear to make.
Say hello to Body Geeks, Monster Camp 7.
Hello, body geeks.
Sorry about those 5 pounds. Alan, have you ever done a Promo Depth 3D at dark hour?
Not at dark hour, but I have painted them elsewhere.
You have all kinds of fur babies. Your cat's pretty vocal. Our cat lives a double life and moved to my neighbors after we adopted 2 kittens.
Yeah, that happens sometimes.
Gosh.
It's helping.
Big Ink says, that pumpkin project must leave a smile on the faces of people that drive by, the ones that are on the side of the road, especially during this odd year. Uplifting spirits for sure. That is the hope,
That's the goal.
Big Ink. That is the hope, is to make people Make people happy. Old school Halloween. That is exactly why we're doing it. I gotta tell you, there's been a few nights we look at each other and go, oh man, you don't want to carve a pumpkin and go out. But we do. Hoping that somebody's happy. Oh, Copeland. A height pumpkin 1 mile down a steep for a native Floridian trail. Unfortunately, the pics didn't turn out well as I expected, so I didn't post them, but at least I tried. They are heavy.
Pumpkins can get heavy.
Slipknot Life says good night. Jason Hare says, got here late, but rewatch from the beginning. It says hello.
Hello.
Warmonger wants a Jonesy t-shirt. Celeste says, pumpkins are $4 in one store, 10 to 15 at others in Florida. Jonesy, my cats are meowing back at you. Hi, Mike Butcher. Tina Kusiak is laughing. You gotta love the kitties. DM says your shoes are untied.
They're not untied. You just see the laces.
My very first jack was placed and taken within an hour. Makes me so happy. Horror Beauty. That has happened to us too. We've placed a jack-o'-lantern and
Not always by people.
we go and we do what?
No, it's not always taken by people.
Yeah, well, we go and we'll might go grab a bite and then go back by and look, and it's gone. And it's gone because somebody probably either got eaten by a wild pig or something, or someone took it home, which I'm perfectly fine with that. And perfect. Maybe they can't afford a pumpkin, or they didn't have time, and surprise, they got a pumpkin. That makes me super happy. Jonesy wants to be a YouTube star. He does. Good night, Rodolfo.
Good night, Rodolfo.
John C. says 90% of Texas pumpkins come from East Texas and north of Lubbock. Well, I am giving them my money.
Yes, she is.
Thank you. Jones. Jones. This big. My goodness.
Bones Jones.
Jones. Jonesy. Celeste says you can actually start filming the drop-offs on the off chance you need to hurl one of your monster hogs. We did have a monster hog and we were fast.
He's drinking your drink, whatever you're drinking.
We had a skunk last night. Hard Beatty says it was posted by my friend and their friend, and they were excited they found one. They had no clue it's me who did it. That's awesome. Oh, guys, I love that. We just need it this year.
It's a new video, an hour of me petting a cat. Hope you guys enjoy. It's a new theme of the channel. We're going a new direction. I'm going to pet this cat
It's
until
what,
he
the,
leaves
it's
me
what the
alone.
internet is for.
All right, back to work. Back on your heads.
163 people are watching. Warmonger says, I would tune in for cat petties. Celeste Kitty said, I had a pet skunk. Fun farm rescue. Skunks are awesome.
Cool.
Shop mascot for Jones. He was super cute. Pretty sure he ate that pumpkin we left too. Your crazy hoss says, monster hogs are legit scary.
Yes.
Yes, we don't mess with them. Good night, Mr. Mitch. Thanks so much for sharing your wealth of knowledge. Take care, everyone. All the best.
Thank you.
Thank you. Angel Martinez, I have 2 orange tabbies, so go for it. Oh, they're so good. Love them.
Yeah, he's known for his subtlety, like me.
Hey, he was a haunt season kitty.
He was.
Story of Jonesy. Jonesy was a Halloween cat. DM says, back on your heads. I love that joke.
I say that a lot, and no one gets that reference. So very funny that you got it.
Warmonger says, I feed 20 stray cats a day.
Wow.
Crazy House says, my cats aren't yelling, but they are giving me pointed looks because time for their dinner and my bedtime. So good night. Good night. Joe Boss says, maybe Godzilla will play with Jonesy.
No one knows what it's like to be a bad cat. To be a sad cat. Behind orange thighs. And the rest of you is orange too. But thighs rhymed.
Jamie says, drink. Rob says, drink.
Well, I know.
Celeste Kitty says, I need to take video of my calico brat. She owns me. No other animal or human is allowed near me or her or anything she claims.
Yeah, calicos are weird. Do a little bit of pre-shaping on these ears with a heat gun.
Have you ever made Halloween costumes for your pets?
I have not. As of this time, I have not.
Ken the Husky. We had a Maine Coon who would steal your coffee when you didn't like it. Ezekiel says Spooky is watching the TV trying to spot him. Daniel Lawyer, there's always a lot of choices for masks, but in prop building, it's always a challenge to find matching hands. Have you covered hand building already in your videos?
I've covered hand building on some videos. There's a lot of different types of hands out there. This week's video has a new technique for doing hands also. Just shaping and dishing this ear a little bit while it's warm and giving it a little stretch.
Stacy says, I have sewn quite a few pet costumes, but never for my own pets. Tina Kusiak says, I have 2 calicos. They're super weird. You gotta love them. Their names are Mothra and Godzilla.
Those are great names.
Ross and Alan, you should make Jonesy an alien chest burster.
Huh.
Brad Demon says, when you use heat gun that close, will you use the high almost?
My heat guns only have the one setting of high. I don't really use low setting for anything, because if there's a way to do it faster, that's how I want to do it.
Tina says, thank you for showing your fur babies. They always make me smile.
Well, they make me smile too, which is why I let them live. Because boy, are they ornery.
Adam Safe says the heat gun goes to 11.
Yeah. Every dang time. Hmm? Show who? Show you and Jonesy. Can you see you and Jonesy? Honey, can you see?
We're snuggling.
Weirdo cat.
Alright, ooh, new Tim Tam flavor, chili and dark chocolate. Oh,
Wow, that sounds interesting.
heck yeah. Celeste says, mine's named Snickerdoodle. That's what she looked like as a baby. Someone named after something so sweet, she's very salty. Finn Goggle says, hello, hey Finn.
I'm glad I wasn't named after what I looked like as a baby.
Stacy says, I did Tim Tam Slam yesterday with a chewy caramel flavor. It was incredible.
When you're doing on fabric the contact cement, you want to make sure that you put it on and then move it around very quickly. Don't let it pool up in one spot or else it will soak through. So you really don't want that to happen. Get it on there and move it around. One thing that a lot of people do that can mess up various techniques is they're too slow. They're too deliberate in their movements, and I think a lot of things you're more successful if you can just get on there and do it fast. Before it even has time to know it has a chance to mess up or a way to mess up. Just don't let it. Do the same. Blackcraft 27. I have a video on making creepy burlap masks. I make a scarecrow mask. It doesn't have to be a scarecrow mask, but watch that video. That is a great place to start. And a lot of times the great place to start is to just get started. Don't worry about the how and all that stuff. Just start doing it. And you're lucky you're working with some of the cheapest materials out there. Burlap is very inexpensive. And, you know, if you use contact cement or latex or whatever, that's pretty inexpensive. So it's not like it's silicone and it's a big cost to get into. So just get started. Do it. And now, just like that, he's got ears. Roar, bear.
Sleeping Lake says, I've even used white glue with burlap for a mask.
Sure. Now, white glue isn't always water stable, so once you start sweating in that, that's not a good thing. So you might want to make sure that whatever you're using is water. It's not water soluble. You know, you don't use like washable glue because you're going to sweat in it and it's going to, yeah, you get me.
Joanne Grelly says, I'm late. Hello? Hope you got some well-deserved rest.
I did. Thank you so much.
My next project, I'm going to attempt a Shop Shark mascot head out of foam gym mats. Figure out a pattern is overwhelming, says Big Ink Media Groups.
Buy a toy shark. Buy a small toy shark and then tape it off and do your pattern from that. Tested, the YouTube channel, has a great video series on making a Rancor monster costume. But in that, they sculpt a small model, they tape it off, and that's a good place to learn pattern making.
have a problem sticking to the painted face.
No, contact cement is amazing.
Ezekiel says the sparrow makes me think of the bear jamboree when I was a young boy.
Yes.
Celeste Kitty said would PL 385 work on burlap.
Yes, it would. Most glues work on burlap because it just gets into the weave, and at that point it becomes a mechanical bond, as much as a chemical bond anyway.
Stacy says, that girl is the devil. She's my favorite. And Ezekiel says, hello, Bella Aqua Doggy.
Yes. She is the devil.
Sharice Mitchell. Hey guys, how is contact cement for your skin? Is it safe?
Wet contact cement is not safe for your skin. Dry contact cement is safe for your skin because all of the bad stuff in it evaporates out. A lot of the stuff that's real bad for you, like naphtha and xylene and mineral spirits, it all evaporates very quickly. So, and that is what is used. Toluene normally is in contact cement, and that will evaporate out pretty fast, leaving just the rubber solids that it had previously emulsified. Cured contact cement is no worse for you than touching like sheet rubber. Now, let's test that face. Great. Hopefully you guys can kind of see how this guy is coming together.
Riot Beat. I'm hoping to use your silicone glove skeleton hand tutorial to make some shoe covers for my Grim Reaper costume. Any suggestions for material to wrap around shoes that they can be removable? Any tips?
Socks, get big socks. That's what I have done in the past. I made predator feet that way once.
Alan, where do you get your squirt bottles for your paint? Harbor Freight?
Normally Home Depot. Also, don't buy cheap squirt bottles. Go back onto a theme from earlier.
Warmonger, besides copyrighted material and the dreaded clown, is there anything you would reuse, refuse to sculpt, or make as a commission?
I don't know. I mean, it would have to come up. I mean, there's some sexy stuff. I don't want to get into sexy stuff. I think every makeup artist at some point or another has been offered the opportunity to sculpt and make adult toys. It's not a market I've ever really wanted to get into. So I haven't done that. I don't think the world needs another old man mask, so I probably wouldn't do another straight old man mask. Okay. So I heard, you know what, you said squeeze bottle, and I was thinking pump bottle, but you meant these, which I do get from restaurant supply stores.
Matt McDonald says, hi guys.
Hello.
Urban Mulder, I painted a house with my father and put our lunch in a separate bag with the xylene. And the xylene penetrated the sandwiches. Nasty stuff, xylene.
Yeah, I bet that tasted delicious.
1980 says that Christmas stockings make good roof covers.
Yeah, they're a little big and a touch limited in what they look like on the outside anyway, but yes.
Celeste Kitty says, so no cheap spray foam, silicone, or squirt bottles. Noted.
Yeah, there's some things you just don't go cheap on, you know?
Felicia F says, good evening. Missed the majority of the fun.
Well, we're still here having fun.
Ezekiel says, Facebook and Instagram hammered now with knockoff masks.
Yes, they are. Just go to the company and buy right from their website.
1980 says, having worked in a warehouse full of adult stuff, let me say it's all been done and there's no new stuff.
Yeah, lots of effects artists end up doing that. It's, you know, it's, that industry is one of the reasons why, you know, the silicone industry is as developed as it is.
Celeste Kitty says, how do you make the claws for bare feet? B-E-A-R, barefoot, or a barefoot.
I would do EVA foam. That's the easiest way to do it. Cut the claw shape that you want out of EVA foam. Cut it, shape it, Dremel it, slap it, twist it, pop it. Okay, I have contact cement over this guy now. And now we contact cement the bare face.
Gregory Haynes says, howdy hops and creepers, I made a Vance lightning prop today from a 3 RPM motor and a fire and ice yard light. Those pictures of the creeper station.
Sweet, that sounds awesome.
Celeste Kitty says, a hubby just bought me a Dremel to lose my fingers to.
Hooray!
Fragrance Wrath 88, do you ever use just your hands when sculpting clay?
No, I always go to tools. I have giant sausage-shaped digits, and I want detail that is finer than this. If you want detail, then you have to be a tool-using human. You're going to be limited if all you use is your hands. And a lot of new sculptors are afraid to start using tools, and that's what separates good sculptors from bad sculptors. Get away from using your hands.
Do you stamp or sign your masks so people know where they came from and that they are legit?
No, I let it be a giant mystery. I do not. A lot of times people ask me to sign a mask, and then I will.
1980 says, saw a Wish ad with a corn mask. I had to do a double take.
Double, double.
HBK Styles, what kind of contact cement are you using? Is it good to apply leather on leather? I use Tanner's Bond from Tandy.
Yeah, this is Weldwood contact cement. It's fine for leather. I've used it for leather plenty.
Mitch Butcher, what build project that you did are you most satisfied with? What is your most favorite build project?
My next one.
Ben Godwolf, been seeing those.
And let me explain that. The next one. How sad would your life be if the favorite thing you ever made was 12 years ago? No, it's the next thing. I'm excited about the next thing. The favorite mask I made in the past was the Halloween Gravedigger I made the other night when I was live.
That was last night.
Last
That was Sunday night.
Sunday night. And when this one's done, this will be my favorite mask because I really am digging this mask. You know, it is. I think that you have to have the ability to learn to love and grab joy from what you're working on now and what you're working on next. So often my brain has just moved on. It's moved on from what I was working on, you know, and it's on that next thing. While I'm working on this, I am kind of planning on, you know, the next couple things that I'm going to work on. So the thing that I'm working on next is my favorite. In the past, everything that I've done in the past, I'm happy with and I'm proud of, or else I wouldn't have had said it was finished. You know?
Finn says, I've been seeing those knockoff masks too, not just Facebook, but all over, including Amazon. They are pretty bad.
Yeah, and they use the pictures and video for legitimately awesome masks. And they use their pictures and video, and the mask that you get is not the one that they showed you in the video, because they stole the video. And I might seem like I'm a real stickler for concept theft and intellectual property theft. That's the root of it. That's what that is. They're using someone else's pictures and videos to sell their crappy product, which is a knockoff in the first place. They can see me pouring a beverage, and that's what's important. That's what they want to see. They want to see a delicious Coke Zero, and they want to hear the fizz. Hear the fizz. Dun, dun, dun,
Will
dun,
you ever
dun.
show a wing making demonstration? Raven's Wrath 888.
If you look at my YouTube videos
Stacy just did it.
from a few weeks ago, you will see a lovely wing making demonstration.
Felicia says the Gravedigger was awesome and the detail on the paddle was cool.
Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Zika says, get your wife one too.
She doesn't like them.
I don't like what?
Coke Zero. Not like I do. And you brought a big drink in with you. You need a more beverage, honey?
No.
Okay.
How do you know he drinks as much as you?
Yeah. I drink a lot of beverage.
So,
I'm naturally thirsty.
CMC47, okay, you've inspired me. I have went an Ultra Cal 30 on the way. What would you suggest for a first-time half-marathon?
What are you passionate about? I'm not here to give you ideas. I want you to have ideas. You should have ideas already. I'm not here to give you ideas. I'm here to give you the tools and the techniques to make your ideas and your dreams happen. You don't want to make my ideas. You don't want to make my dreams. I have the ability to make my dreams. You have the ability. I want you to have the ability to make your dreams. Now, so what are you trying to do with this half mask? Is it for personal enjoyment and fulfillment? Then what do you think is scary? What do you think is cool? So well, that's part of it. What is a mask you wish was made out there and you've never seen before? So that's something that you can consider. That's something that I think about a lot. A little bit ago, you heard someone, I forget who, maybe it was Chad, who said, I'm going to start doing some research and see what kind of Christmas masks I can make. Do some research. Another friend of mine He does cryptids. You know, it's always cryptids. It's the Jersey Devil. It's Mongolian Deathworm. It's Bigfoot. So Yeti. You know, all those things. What do you want to make? Make anything. But don't look for someone else to tell you what to make. I'm here to tell you how to make it. I want to help you make it. But I want you to make your dreams and your nightmares and your vision. I'm here to give you the tools and the techniques and maybe the drive to start making things. So there you go.
Matt McDonald says Lon Chaney will be proud of you.
Well, that's some fun werewolf stuff there. Love me some Lon Chaney.
To get back over, they want to see the front and back scene.
Of what?
Please show this front and back scene. Gregory Hayes, hey Alan, next year I want to make 2 perched gargoyle statues to accompany my graveyard statue. Sure hope you'll make one to show me how.
Yes. Are you okay with sculpting and molding? Because I have in my brain, I'm going to sculpt and mold a Mammut, which is Mum-Ra's dog, and make it like life size. But it's all a one-piece sculpt and it's a one-piece mold. Kind of like a tall half mask, basically.
C. Dempsey, who was talking about what's he passionate about, and that's goblins and hobgoblins.
Then you should make hobgoblins and goblins. Start doing that. There are not enough goblin masks in this world, I assure you. I would love to see a hobgoblin and a goblin. Make 2. They're small. And then if you want to make a big one, make a bugbear. That's a goblinoid. Probably my favorite of the goblinoid races. Bugbears.
Gregory Haynes says, well, after Monster Camp, I should have that ability.
Yes, sir.
Good night, Spook Shack. 181 people are watching.
Hello, 181 people. Fur is one of the most forgiving things that you can do mask making wise because it seams up so beautifully. And I'm going in here now and I'm making sure that these 2 seams are pressed together in such a way that you don't even know there's a seam there.
Jerry Thrasher says hello.
Hey, Jerry Thrasher.
He's asking how you are.
I'm doing great. Thank you very much for asking.
Angelus Lucifer says, I'm a musician. I would love to have giant mechanical wings made for me. Is that possible? How do I contact you about it?
It's possible. Now, however, I'm going to send you to an expert. There's a company, a young lady, and her company name is Crooked Feather. Crooked Feather. She is better at making mechanical wings than me, and she'll be cheaper than me because she makes them more often. Crooked Feather is the company name. Okay, there we go. Now I have these two pieces need to join, but everything all the way down the mask is all joined up and the seam is beautiful. I'll finish these guys and I'll finish this side, and I need to cut a piece for up here. This hair goes down this way. This hair has to go back that direction. To get this, I'm going to use a piece of paper.
Head static. I'm using the creature girl ideas, but putting it on all fours to make a graveyard full of demon flies.
That's awesome. That's a great idea.
How
Demon
quickly
dolls.
after the contact cement dries do you need to attach the pieces before it becomes useless?
You have about 15 minutes. You have a good 15 minutes.
Listing corpses. Good evening. Love the bear. Hey, did you get the mask? All right, guys.
I did. I got it. Yes, I already have it.
Steve Dempsey says, yes, the bear bug goblin is what I want to do. Just afraid to mess up and make it look terrible.
No, quit it. Don't be afraid to mess up. That's unacceptable. And here's why it's unacceptable. No one's going to know you messed up unless you tell them. What you're talking about is one of the goblinoid races. And my firm belief on the goblinoid races is that a creature that's, the more evil a race is, the more varied its looks. You know, there's not a lot of evil in the hearts of elves, and they are a pure, clean, beautiful race. Men, and they're pretty varied in their looks. There's different skin tones, different colors, their faces are shaped different. You know, so, but then you have orcs and goblins, and there's so many varieties and changes in skin colors and textures, and that's because that's an evil race. So you just make a bugbear. If it's not the one you like, then later you call that a mountain bugbear, and then you make a different bugbear that does look the way you want, because you got your skills up to par. And this is my pattern for the top of the head. I came in here looking like a drowned rat, and I still look like one.
Have you or would you ever design your own Cenobites costume, like your own Cenobites, not one already done?
I actually won a contest for designing a Cenobite. I did. When I was a young man. Yes, I won a contest for that.
You're silly.
And the Cenobite that I designed was, this was, you know, kind of right after part 2, basically. I think it was before part 3 came out, or it was after, I don't know. Maybe they're promoting 3. But it was a long time ago.
Six String says, I want to sculpt and cast a Jason mask in plastic, like the movie. What would be the best way to mold and cast it?
Most people do a silicone mold and a fiberglass mask, or a resin mask, either one.
Rob O'Brien thinks this bear will play the upright bass. And Ezekiel says, you are still a young man.
Well, yes.
Right now, Color Beauty says the bear looks funny as an old bald man bear.
You know what? There was a movie with Natalie Portman in it, and they were kind of attacked by a bear in a Rainbow World wall, and bear screams like a person, and it didn't have a hair in its head. See? What's the name of the movie with Natalie Portman? And there's a bear. It was cool. I liked the bear.
Annihilation.
Annihilation. Yes. Thank you.
Rador's bald bear. Let's see. 189 people are watching.
Hello, 189 people. When you're cutting fur, it's always important to cut it from the back, I don't want to cut through all that fur because that is my magical seam hiding ability. Whereas if I make a cut, that extra hair hides over and covers that seam. If you cut it with scissors, you would just chop all that off and it wouldn't help you hide the seam at all. And to make this piece in the ears, I'm using the piece that I cut by accident the wrong way, and now this will still go on the mask. It'll still be very helpful to me. Let's get some contacts tonight. Okay. Very important also to get the edges of fur when you're working with it. It's pretty easy for us to not hit the edges and to stay off the edge because that gets a little messy. But if there's any part you want glued down, you want that edge glued down. So the best way to do it, really go right off that edge. Don't be scared. Alan, what if you get a little bit of glue in the hair? Aren't you worried about that? Making a giant snotty bear. No. No one's going to notice that he's got a little bit of goods in his hair. That's from the last time he raided a honeybee cave or whatever. Or it's gore from his last victim. Mwahaha bear.
I saw somewhere today that Tim Burton may be working on an Addams Family series. What are your thoughts?
That's cool. You know what? I don't actually ever look into or get involved in TV show hype really. When it comes out, when they're ready to show it to me, I'm happy to watch it. But I'm not the kind of guy who goes crazy for extra content and try to find plot leaks and stuff. No, I mean, cool. Okay, if it comes out, great. I don't watch a lot of TV anyways, so we're talking 10 years before I probably end up watching it.
Can't finish a show to save our lives.
No, we watched 3 episodes of Bly Haunting Hill House.
Bly Manor. We can't get to it, and we want to see more. We just haven't
Yeah.
gotten there.
Yeah, we're not.
Can't
We
get
don't
there,
hang
guys.
out and watch TV, people.
It's October. It's October. Would you consider making sea monsters?
I make a lot of sea monsters. I did a shark mask. I did a hammerhead shark mask. I did a whole sea creature costume. I do a lot of sea monster stuff. So, yes, I do a lot of that. Probably once again in March, I think, I'll be finishing a sea monster that I started, a sea serpent, which is like 30 feet long. I make a lot of sea monsters.
Anthony Pantano says hello.
Hello.
Celeste Kitty says, if I ever have the money to do my own haunt, it will be an abandoned carnival filled with creepy childhood toys and sideshow freaks.
That sounds fun.
Head Static says, watching you do the fur reminds me of my days as a carpet installer. carefully spreading the seam before laying down, paying attention to the direction of the nap, etc.
All those things. You're absolutely right.
Jerry Thrasher, what would happen if you put together items with contacts in it if it wasn't fully ready to be contacted?
Then they would not stick. So you would just peel them up, and you would get a do-over.
Rachel Powell says Bly Manor was really good. When you have time, watch it and look like it.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
I tried.
We love what we have seen, but
So far, we're having fun with it.
yeah.
Can't get there. Joanne Crowley says, went to Home Depot today. Not much left for Halloween, but I grabbed a cat and a dog skeleton that marked down to $8 each.
almost nothing was. We went to Lowe's today. We had to go to Lowe's for some stuff, and almost nothing was left for Halloween. There was a minuscule section.
What you got a projector?
I got a Universal Monsters projector that shoots like a light up Frankenstein head or a Wolfman head or whatever. So I'll play with that here in a while. Yes.
And Zarish says that is a nice bear mask.
Thanks.
Oh, Ezekiel says Cobwebs loved his snapping turtle, and he must have done an unboxing video.
Awesome.
That would be his possum too. We haven't even had a chance to see it. Thanks, Ezekiel. We'll try and catch it. Haven't even had a chance.
This is like I'm reverse scalping a bear.
Matt McDonald says, can't wait to see it. I'm working on a skull that's been underwater. I'm having trouble with proper coloring.
Oh, just throw some blue in there. It'd be awesome. Little blue, little green, underwatery as heck. And what kind of lighting are you going to put on it? Because an underwater skull is the same color as a regular skull, except the lighting is different. We're really working that seam line to make sure that that is down, push it together, and then it's gone. Poof! Gone.
Jerry Thrasher. What was your first introduction to monsters? Not your favorite monster, but your first.
Oh, I have no idea. I guess dinosaurs. Wasn't that pretty much every kid's first introduction to giant monsters was dinosaurs? You know, you find out that these giant lizards and, crocodiles that walked on two legs were alive and running around, and are they still running around? No, they're not. They're gone. What do you mean they're gone? How does that work? You learn about a lot of things when you learn about dinosaurs. I'm pretty sure that's the first creature that teaches people about the word extinct, and that whole concept of something that's gone now. They used to be here, and now they're. I felt so robbed as a kid when I learned that there weren't dinosaurs anymore. Because how beautiful must they have been? How, what color were they? We don't know.
Custom Corpses. Yes, we did get the mask. Sorry, I did not read your comment because these are coming in pretty fast.
Oh, I
Yes.
saw it, and I answered him. I said, yes, we
Okay.
got it. And his will ship out probably tomorrow. We've been a little slammed with Monster Camp.
Jerry Thrasher loved your pirate costume. It was freaking awesome. I loved how it all came together.
Thanks, man.
Matt McDonald says, thank you. Your opinion is very much appreciated. Fred Shea. How did you conform a mask that was bought from Spirit to fit a face with glasses on it? try to be comfortable?
What's that now?
How would you conform a mask that was bought from Spirit to fit a face with glasses on and still try to be comfortable?
I would pad it out with like a half-inch upholstery foam, cut it and glue it together, and just keep it off of your eyes. You know, make yourself like a nice donut. You know what? No, get yourself some of the flip welding goggles, okay? But just the plastic kind that are like this, and then they flip up here. Take out that middle piece where your glass is under it, and then cut it down so that it's just over your glasses. But you can use something like that to keep it off of your glasses, or build one out of foam. Either way is fine. Have to grab a little bit of fabric. I'll be right back.
Joanne Crowley says, you putting the hair and fur on top of his head reminds me of a nasty 7th grade math teacher we had. He used glue. Partial hair, you see to his head. You can see the blue line. Celeste Kitty says, learning about dinosaurs is what started me on my cryptid obsession.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing that there were those monsters, and then now there's none.
Good night, Mike Murphy. Are you going to flock the snout?
Yes, yes, pretty much everything that has that hair there that doesn't have hair yet is going to get flocked.
What are your monster camps and how much do you charge?
Monster Camp is a full weekend. It's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. When are they? We're looking at a date for the next one coming up soon. All the ones we have right now are sold out, so telling you those dates wouldn't help you. Monster Camp is $550. When you leave, you get the mask you made, you get the mold that you made, you get the bust you sculpted on, you get sculpting tools. It's 2 sets of sculpting tools now. You get a Still Beast apron, and we pay for all the meals. So you have to get yourself here, and you have to pay your hotel. But other than that, everything at Monster Camp is covered. So all you have to do is show up and make some monsters.
And you get the sculpting on
You get what?
the head form.
Yeah, the sculpting bust, yes.
The protrusion of the snout on this mask, how do you sculpt it in clay and keep it from drooping?
If you need to, you can run a support inside of it. Sometimes I'll put in popsicle sticks or whatever in order to support a structure. But clay is normally, it'll hold its form pretty good. You just got to kind of know its limits. And if you're exceeding its limits, add it something, give it something that it can be a little more structural.
Joanne Crowley says, I went to Spirit the other day. It was cold and drizzly. I didn't bother with a bad back. Was not standing outside in line. Standing outside in line to get in?
Yeah.
Oh, I bet like they had.
Limiting people.
Yeah. Limiting people.
Yeah, now it's not the time of year to go to Spirit. The time of year to go to Spirit was when they first opened.
1980 says, I think it's different when you have kids. You look at horror in a slightly different way. Since I finished the Leprechaun films, I had kids, and I see the world through their eyes. Warren Davis. I'm saying that Warren Davis is not going to do another Willow movie because of his kids.
Another Willow or another Leprechaun?
Maybe the same.
Yeah, I believe that. I can understand that.
Ezekiel says, Finn, the turtle mask is killer. You are lucky. JLR says, your mask looks awesome, but I am terrified of bears.
Cool.
Cash
Then I
Butcher.
certainly don't want to know where you live so I can show up and scare you in a bear costume.
Let's see.
Did you say Cash was watching?
Cash, yeah. She says, hi friends, long time no talk. I just got a shirt that is captioned Zombie Robot Vampires from Space, inspiring theme, just thought I would throw it in the abyss. Amazing build.
Hooray! Thank you.
Custom Corpses said he posted a comment on here about Alan's spray foam masks. I created a new mask with a custom called the Pumpkinhead Scarecrow.
Cool. That's awesome. Sounds good. I like pumpkin heads and scarecrows.
Ezekiel was singing Def Leppard. Let's get. Thank you, Deacon Press File says that is one heck of a video. 1980 says, if you did a bird mask, would you flock a seagull? Oh, jeez. Milton Knowles, the insane witch king. I just got Monster Hunter World. It's awesome. Extra monster and curtain strip on. I don't know how to kill it. Celeste Penny. Jerry Thrasher says, dang, too much out of my range, unfortunately, sad.
You could save up for it. You know, by that token, a car might be out of your price range also, but you may have one. It's a matter of, do you want to do it? Now you could learn to do it on your own. You don't have to pay for Monster Camp. What I guarantee at Monster Camp is you're not going to make mistakes, because I'm going to stop you from making mistakes. Your first attempt will be successful because I'm here to help you. And for some people, that's worth some money. But if it is going to make you tight in the pocketbook, don't come. You know, every bit of advice I give you at Monster Camp, I give you in live feeds too. Just ask questions. Get some clay and sculpt along, you know. Ask me questions when you get stuck. I'm here to help.
Shadow Jim 81 says hi. He says, he's going to make a mask with fur. James Minnick says hello. Brian Green says, I love your videos.
Why, thank you.
Yeah, Fred, just like I said, we don't do Twitter either. We have Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and we have our website. So if you don't do Facebook and you don't do Instagram, then you're going to have to keep an eye out on here or on the website.
I'm going to do a much better job.
That's the best we can do.
I'm going to do a much better job about announcing Monster Camp like openings on here. I've never done a video saying, hey, we have a Monster Camp coming up. You know, I've never done that, but I should. Okay, so now I have that piece of fabric in there, and that fabric is gluing both sides together, and I'm doing this. I'm also going to run a bead of hot glue right down the center of that seam, because hot glue is a liquid that turns into a flexible plastic, and then when I do that in all those hairs, it grabs all those hairs, and that's going to be a really good bond.
Stonewall Rise wants to know how you're doing.
I'm doing great, Scum. I appreciate you asking.
Dan McCorson says hello.
Hello, Dan. You never keep your eye on that one, right?
Yep.
Okay. Just proofread, proofread, proofread.
Yeah, I'm going slower now. Those days are over. What glue gun and glue do you use?
Okay, so I'll show you that here in a minute. But the glue gun that I use, it's a Sure Bonder glue gun, and it's a Sure Bonder glue gun. It's a higher end glue gun. It's more expensive, but again, don't buy cheap glue guns. Buy cheap heat guns. Cheap heat guns are awesome. Don't buy cheap glue guns because they slow you down, and I don't want any tool that's going to slow me down.
Shadow Jim 81 says this is a cool mask.
Why? Thank you.
Custom Corpses. I think the hardest part of this business is learning the ins and outs of social media. I might have to pick your brain on that for sure.
Oh, you assume I have it figured out. I don't even do my own. My wife handles, I just want to make monsters, man. My wife handles Facebook. I have Stacy's help with a lot of stuff on Facebook, and every now and then Stacy and Shannon help me with YouTube. I'm learning as I go. The hardest part for me, honestly, is the tech end of this stuff. The tech end. You'll note that I'm still not multi-camera streaming, and it's not. I'm not where I want to be, video quality wise, but I'm learning and I'm getting there.
Shadow Jim says, I love all your videos. Anthony Pantano says, what's the bear for?
The bear is for a customer, so whatever they want to use it for, they can use the bear for. I try not to ask.
Ian J. Outdoor Adventure says, I finished painting my Jason mask in house, so I got here late.
All right, you know what? You were making stuff. Never a problem. We were making stuff.
L. Copeland, I was thinking there could be a Monster Camp scholarship, so if viewers want, they can contribute money to it, and eventually when it hit 550, people can make their case on the Creepers page why.
Wow.
Whoa, that's a terrible job. I don't want to do that.
That's a great idea.
Ooh, that'd be hard.
Very hard to monitor. I think you'd have some hard feelings. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I'm very close on this guy. We got him 90% of the way painted. What do I have left to do? I have to flock all of the face. I have to finish the paint once I flock the face. I have to hair the back of the ears, but I'm going to call it here tonight because it is 10:15 and we both have work to do in the morning. I may have to work on a video. I'm not even sure yet, but
We'll see how that's
yeah,
going.
you guys are awesome. Thank you for hanging out. Look at how far we got on the bear. And wife, anything you have to catch me up on before we go?
No, we're good.
Okay, you guys are
Yes,
awesome.
Thanks,
Wife, say good night.
guys. Good night, guys. Happy Halloween.
Everybody, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. There's 171 people. That's not insignificant, and I appreciate you spending your time with us. Have a great night. Go make stuff.